right, today we're going to be talking about why you're losing 80% of your new patients and you don't even know it. And this is not a niche problem that some people are experiencing. This is what the average dental practice is experiencing out there. Over 80% of the market falls into that category. So if you're a dentist and you're hearing this, this is you, and this is why you spend money on marketing and you can't grow. You can't figure it out. And the marketing company saying, hey, we're providing you results, but nothing's happening. You never get more new patients. Your revenue never goes up. Your production never goes up. Your collections never go up. This is why. It's the glass ceiling of dental marketing, or the black hole of dental marketing. And at the end, I'm going to give you some free phone coaching, and that will help you fix some of this, okay? And normally this is $599. We use it to train all of our clients, but today I'm going to give it to you for free. So let's jump into this. Welcome back to another episode of Dental Marketing Go. I'm your host, Gary Bird. I'm the owner of SMC National, where we help offices just like yours level the playing field against the big guys out there so you can grow the way that you want. But if you have the black hole of marketing happening in your practice, you're not going to grow. I guarantee you that. And this is the average. This is on average what dental practices are having happen to them. And this is why you can never grow. This is why you've worked with multiple different marketing companies and you still haven't seen any results when it comes to your P&L, your profit and loss statement. The numbers just don't go up. And this is the reason why. This is happening to over 80% of the dental market, and it's invisible. You're not going to see it on any platforms. You're not going to see it on any dashboards or any spreadsheets because there's some nuance to it. And I'm going to explain that today. And at the end, I'm going to give you some free coaching, an LMS for your team, a learning management software that you can go into, have your team go through it, and you can actually solve some of these problems, okay? So let's jump into this. So what are we talking about when we're talking about the black hole marketing? Well, very simply, let's just pretend that you're a dental office and you spend $10,000 a month on marketing. And let's pretend that that marketing company is perfect. Let's say they run the perfect ads, they're running perfect SEO, everything digital, and everything's tracked, okay? And it's absolutely perfect. It's providing the maximum number of opportunities for your office that's humanly possible, okay? So I hope that's really, really clear. So those opportunities are coming into your office and you are converting them. You're answering the phone. Guess how many people, or guess how many times, what percentage people aren't answering the phone? Just guess. Guess what the industry average is. Now, if you don't know this number, that means you fall into this average if you don't track it. Now, here's what most dentists tell me. Gary, yeah, no. We answer 100% of our calls. I go, how do you know that? I just know I listen. That you don't answer 100%. First of all, you don't answer 100% of your calls. Second, you can't measure it by just listening, okay? You have to actually track it. If you don't know the actual percentage, if you don't know it, then you fall into the average. The average, industry average during normal business hours, now I'm not talking about after hours, just normal business hours, is 35%. 35% of calls go unanswered in the dental industry. Don't believe me? Just go call some dental offices. It's so simple. Call them. Just pick up your phone, go to Google and type in dentist near me and call 10 offices right now. On Friday, it'll be worse. Friday, it's way worse. Go do it on Monday, though. You'll see 4 or 5 practices will not pick up their phone. And if you want to really be sick to your stomach, call your office 10 times over the next couple of weeks from a blocked number and watch what happens. People aren't going to answer the phones. Now, there's multiple reasons for this. One is staffing, right? So the front desk is a notoriously busy place, okay? So they're doing a lot of things, checking in, checking out. But it's even more complicated than that because phone calls spike at certain times. When do they spike? They happen to spike when you have the least amount of coverage at your offices. So they spike early in the mornings because people are driving to work. Oh, I got to schedule this dental appointment. They spike at lunch when everybody goes out to the Mexican restaurant and you shut down your office and there's no one there to take phone calls. And they spike at in the afternoon as people start to leave work and as your team wants to get out of the door. So that's when you need the most phone coverage. And we have some solutions around that. I'll talk about that at the end. But this is the average. So this is probably happening at your office. What that means is you're missing 35% of your opportunities. So you are missing out on $3,500. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, we'll just call them back. No, you can't just call them back. You can't, because they've already called the next office. So you're just going to call them back and they're not going to answer the phone because it's an unrecognized number. Think about it. You've had this happen before. You go online and you want to get your carpets cleaned. So you type in carpet cleaner, or you need a plumber. So you type in plumber. These are all service businesses. All right. I'm not comparing dental to those industries. They're service. So they're similar. And you go to the plumber and you call, and you need a plumber right away, and they don't answer. So you hang up, and what do? Call the next one. And they don't answer. You hang up and call the next one, right? And then what eventually happens? Someone answers, and you go, hey, can you get out here? Yep, we'll be out there in 1 hour. Then all those other companies call. What do? You ignore them. You ignore them. You don't even know who they are, and you're not going to answer. They might leave a voicemail. Doesn't matter. You already got your problem solved. This is what happens in dental. Happens all the time. Okay? If you don't believe me, go test it out yourself. Go start calling people. All right? So you lose $3,500. Now, guess what the average phone conversion for marketing new patients are? Qualified marketing patients. Just qualified. I'm not talking about, oh, I have a fee-for-service office and it was a Medicaid patient. I'm not talking about those. Those don't count towards this percentage. Just the average patient that's going to call, that's qualified to come into your office for the services that you want, but it's coming from marketing. Guess what the conversion rate is? It's 50%. It's 50%. You say, no, I hear my office. We're really good on the phones. And you might be really good on the phones. But what most people don't realize is they are tracking total new patient phone conversion. And that does not tell you how good you are on the phones with your marketing new patients. Why? If you get 100 new patients a month, and at 100 new patients a month, half of them are going to come from patient referrals, right? And the other half are going to come from marketing. Roughly, that's usually what happens. Maybe 60-40, but that's typically about half of new patients are coming from patient referrals. Guess what they convert at? Guess the conversion rate of patient referrals. It's about 100%. 100%. So a patient, I go to my wife, I say, hey, you should go check out this dental office. Or she goes, man, I need to get my teeth cleaned. You should go to this dental office. She's going to call. That converts about 100% of the time. Marketing patients, on the other hand, convert about 50% of the time. Why? Because we don't know how to answer their questions. If you haven't seen the podcast, go back to it. I just filmed it yesterday. I go over how to actually answer these questions, and it's super simple. It's not complicated, but most offices don't know how to do it. Okay? So 50% of the calls go unanswered. Here's why it's so confusing. You go into your dashboards and you look at new patient conversion. You're like, we're at 75%. That's not bad. And it isn't bad. But the problem is that you're losing half of your marketing opportunities. That's bad. That means you're losing $10,000. If we're using a $10,000 budget as an example, you're losing $3,250. If you say, well, I don't spend $10,000 in marketing, I spend $5,000 in marketing. Fine. You're losing $1,600 on phone conversion, right? Just right out of the door. And so that's a big problem. That is a big, big problem. And I'm going to give you something at the end to solve that for free. Okay. Now, what's the next part? The next part is you are scheduling 3 weeks out. You are scheduling 4 weeks out. So guess what that means? You're going to have a high no-show rate. And you say 30% no-show rate. No, we only have a 10% no-show rate. Yeah, that's for everybody in your office. Marketing new patients aren't going to wait 2 weeks, 3 weeks. They're just not. They're not going to wait that long. So guess what happens? They just don't show up. And then you have holes in your schedule. And then you're mad. And then you say, they're not quality patients. Maybe, but we'll never know because they ended up at another dental office because we put them too far out. Industry average is about 2 to 3 weeks average time to appointment. That's horrible. Patients want to come in right away. So now you have this problem. You have the $10,000 marketing budget. We lost 35% by not answering the phone. And then of the people that we did answer the phone, we lost 50%. And then we can have as high as a 30% no-show rate. We end up with $2,000 of that marketing budget coming through the door. That means we're losing almost 80% of our marketing budget. You're losing somewhere 70 to 80% of your marketing budget. That's horrible. And it had nothing to do with marketing. It had to do because your dashboards aren't telling you that this is a problem. You have no way to know. You're listening with your ears. You're busy running your practice. You have no way to know if this is actually happening. So you end up losing, and then you go, all right, I'm going to fire my marketing. The marketing was, in this scenario that I gave you, was working. It was working perfectly. And there's no way to be successful with this. And this is the average business model of dental. It's the average. This is not the exception. This isn't the top 10%. This isn't the bottom 10%. This is these are average stats in the dental industry. 35% unanswered during normal business hours, 50% phone conversion of marketing new patients, and all the way up to 30% no-show if you're putting them 2 to 3 weeks out, which the average time to appointment is 2 to 3 weeks out in the dental industry. So now you end up losing all of your opportunities. You change marketing companies, and then it happens again. And you change marketing companies, and it happens again. And I'm sure you had some marketing companies in there that didn't do a good job. That's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is it doesn't matter who you use for marketing. You will fail with this business model. So how do you fix this? Okay, so number one, let's go through it really quickly, and I'm going to give you the free thing at the end that's going to help you with your team for coaching. Number one, the unanswered calls is pretty simple. You either need to hire somebody internally or externally. There's great companies out there that you can use. If you DM me down below or leave a comment down below, I'll share those with you. They'll literally help you get a virtual assistant for a couple $1,000, fully trained, answer your phones, and schedule patients anytime that you miss a call during normal business hours. It's amazing. And they convert almost at the same rate as your team, fully trained. Okay, so that solves that. Boom, got that back. Then on the phones, we have a training LMS, a learning management software that we use for all of our clients that will get your team up to 70 to 80% conversion for all phone calls that are coming from marketing. Very, very simple. If you want, I'll give it to you for free. It's normally $599. I have a free code. I'll give that for you. Just drop it down in the comments below. Okay. And then no shows, you have to use block scheduling. You have to use block scheduling. You have to create enough blocks on your schedule every single day and about 2 days out, 3 days out, that you have the places to put these new patients. Otherwise, they're just going to no show and you're going to lose those patients. That's how you solve it. It's not complicated to solve, but it's complicated to get clarity on what to solve. That's the hard thing. So if this brings value to you, let us know down below. If you want those free phone coaching, let us know down below. We'll talk to you soon.